Folks, they are chanting Donald Trump on the streets of Gaza after it was announced this peace deal was going to go through between Hamas and Israel. Now, tomorrow, the Nobel Peace Prizes are supposed to be announced. If President Trump doesn't get one, I will tell you what, the whole thing is an absolute fraud. He deserves it. There is a ceasefire in place now. We're supposed to get hostages by Monday or Tuesday. Here's President Trump.
Looking ahead, what guarantees Hamas disarms and that Israel doesn't resume bombing once the hostages are released?
The first thing we're doing is getting our hostages back, okay? And that's what people wanted more than anything else. They wanted these hostages back that have lived in hell like nobody has ever even dreamt possible. And after that, we'll see. But they've agreed to things, and I think it's going to move along pretty well.
Look, everybody in Israel is celebrating this. They're celebrating this, as you just saw, in Gaza. Middle East countries are celebrating this. President Trump even thanked Iran. Iran played a role in getting this deal done. The president is nothing short of amazing, folks. He deserves this Nobel Peace Prize. Not that he needs it. Nobel Peace Prize lost all credibility to me when they gave it to Barack Obama in 2009 for his effort in trying to get peace. He didn't get any peace, but his effort, they gave it to him. President Trump has stopped half a dozen wars, and now peace in the Middle East. It doesn't get any better than this. Here's the Secretary of State.
You know, I don't know if one day perhaps the entire story will be told about the events of yesterday, but suffice it to say, it's not an exaggeration that none of it would have been possible without the President of the United States being involved. It really began with your trip to the Middle East, where these relationships were forged with partners in the region, personal relationships, close relationships that created the foundation where all of this was possible.
Bottom line is Joe Biden couldn't get it done. President Trump did. And that's reality. Now, we celebrate today, but don't lose sight of the fact that we're still dealing with Hamas. This is an evil terror organization. I'm not convinced they'll just drop their arms and give up and never do harm to any, quote, non-believer ever again. I'm not that naive. Here's how the deal is supposed to be laid out. There may be a peacekeeping force in Gaza. We're still getting details about that. What will America's role be in all this? I want to know. Hamas is supposed to disarm. That's part of the deal. They would get amnesty as a result of all of this, including releasing all of the hostages by Monday or Tuesday. Humanitarian aid would resume in a very big way, and they would rebuild Gaza, turning to many of the wealthy countries in the region. And there are a lot of